Hello, my dear student. At this video, we are going to look at the difference between present simple and present continuous, as well as action and non-action verbs. So, when we use present simple, for things that always true or happened regularly. For example, she usually has cereal for breakfast. Remember the spelling rules for the third form of singular person. He, she, it, you have to add s to the main verb. For example, he lives in a flat. She watches TV in the evening. To form general questions, you have to use do or does auxiliary verb at first place, then subject plus infinitive without any to. For example, do you know David? To form special questions, you have to use question word at first, then auxiliary verb do or does, plus subject, plus infinitive without any to. For example, what time does the film start? We often use the present simple with adverbs of frequency, for example, always, sometimes, usually, never, and expressions of frequency, for example, every day, once a week, twice a year. Don't forget to put adverbs of frequency before the main verb and after the verb to be. For example, Jack always wears glasses. Carol is usually tired. But expressions of frequency you could use at the beginning or at the end of the sentence. For example, Anne goes swimming once a week. Let's look at present continuous. We use present continuous for actions in progress at the time of speaking or temporary actions. For example, I am waiting for the friends. Remember the spelling rules. So, if the verb ends with silent E, we drop it and add ing ending. If the verb ends with consonant plus Y, we will not change anything and add only ing ending. But if the verb ends with closed syllable, we will double the last consonant letter. For example, he is living in the village. She is studying new words. To form general question, you have to put the verb to be is, am, are into the first place, then subject plus infinitive with ing ending. For example, is your sister drawing a picture? To form special questions, you have to put question word at first, then auxiliary verb or to be, subject and infinitive with ing. For example, who are you waiting for? We often use the present continuous with time markers such as now, at the moment, this week, at present, and so on. We could use them at the beginning or at the end of the sentences. For example, right now I am driving home. Let's look at some action and non-action verbs. So, the verbs which describes actions, for example, cook, make, can be used in the present or present simple or present continuous tenses. For example, I'm making the lunch right now. I usually make the lunch at the weekend. Verbs which describe states of feeling, non-action, for example, love, need, be, called non-action verbs. For example, I love English breakfast. So, these verbs couldn't be used with present continuous even if we are referring to the situation that is happening right now. And sometimes they called stative verb. There are some common stative verbs such as want, feel, like, dislike, hate, prefer, believe, know, notice, remember, own, mean, forget, recognize, understand, realize, cost, seem, think, see, hear, taste, look, have, suppose, smell, sound, be, contain, fit, include, matter, need, belong. However, there are some action and non-action verbs that could be used with present simple or present continuous tenses. Let's look at some of them. For example, think. In the sentence, I think she is Russian, we will use present simple as we believe for this notion. But in the sentence, I'm thinking about my holiday, we are referring to the consideration of this event. That's why we are using present continuous. For example, taste. The soup tastes awful, which means it has this flour. And we use present simple. But for the sentence, she is tasting the soup, she is trying to taste its flavor. That is why we will use the present continuous tense. See, I can see a plane in the sky, which means I can perceive with my eyes this plane. And we will use present simple, but in the sentence, I'm seeing Jill tonight, which means I'm meeting with him. We will refer to the present continuous. Look, you look tired, which means you appear to be in these conditions. We will use present simple, but he is looking at some photos means that he is studying them, which we will need to use present continuous. Smell. The room smells of perfume. The room has this smell. And we will use present simple, but in the sentence, the cat is smelling its food, which means it's sniffing it. That's why we will use present continuous. Feel. This towel feels soft. It has this texture. But in the sentence, she's feeling her son's forehead, which means she's touching it to find out his temperature. We will use present continuous. With the verb to be, in the sentence of he is selfish, which means it's his permanent statement. He is selfish. He is always selfish. But in the sentence, he is being selfish, which means that he is in his temporary statement. He usually isn't selfish, but right now he is being selfish. That's why we will use present continuous. To have, for example, he has a big house, which means he possesses that house. But in the sentence, he is having lunch now, which refers that he is eating it. So, with some idioms such as have breakfast, have lunch, have dinner, have a shower, we will always use present continuous. I hope this video is useful for you. Don't forget to practice and take the test after watching this video. Bye for now.